on, everyone? Welcome to the Rewind, SmackDraw's weekly show where RN and I tackle the latest topics, whether it be stuff that's happening in pro wrestling, news, ongoings, general thoughts, questions, you name it. It's just our weekly wrestling show. My name's Kyle Tyson, and I'm joined by
Yeah. Oh, good.
No, you do it.
Are we ever gonna get this fucking right?
Dude, we got to practice this.
As I am, Mr. 8984, or RN, as you guys like to mute. So there's that.
There's that, man. RN, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Ready for this holiday shit to get jumping off. I'm about to do Cajun turkey. I'm ready for it. I got my turkey in the brine right now. Let it sit for a day or so.
I'm ready. It's Thanksgiving week, isn't it?
Yeah. I only worked 2 days this week, so I am fucking pumped.
That's awesome, my friend. Yeah, I think we're going to my. At least I pray we're going to my in-laws' house for Thanksgiving, because otherwise we are not prepared.
Oh. But, it's been like turned it into kind of a tradition the last few years. We've been going to my girlfriend's mom, and then once my mom passed and everything, I told her, I was like, you got the juice now, so you just tell us where, when. No competition.
Follow kind of suit there on that one myself. Oh, man. RN, dude, normally we would banter. You have anything going on this week? Any football games? Anything going on?
No, I'm actually officially done with football season, and I'm back to being a normal fucking wrestling nerd.
Okay. I haven't had much going on. I haven't had much going on in my life. Otherwise, I've been playing Halo. Yeah. That just dropped. Yeah, Halo Infinite multiplayer dropped for free. That's been kind of fun. Bounce between that and Forza, and then of course I'm still trying out a lot of the latest VR games. I found one called Loco Dojo. I'll be playing that tonight. Maybe streaming it here on Twitch.tv/SmackRaw. Essentially, it's the equivalent of Mario Party for the VR. So it's a board game. You're traveling around collecting coins. You land on mini games. It's a whole bunch of silly fun.
I haven't really been. I've been playing 2K and Madden. I just bought Madden a couple days ago.
So you're part of the problem. You can't keep buying it, man.
I know. I can't help it. Like
part of the problem, RN.
For my son, like 2K, I get for me. Like those are the games I buy. NBA 2K and WWE 2K every year. Like those are just my games that I get. Like I can't help it. I bought Madden this year because my son talked me into it, but I got the cheap one. I didn't get the one with all the fake ass bells and whistles and stuff. I got the one specifically just for me and him to play against each other.
Ain't nothing cheap about Madden once you start getting into the MUT.
No, I don't. No,
you don't do the MUT, My Ultimate Team.
I do it, but I don't pay. I don't buy packs or any of that shit.
You're a grinder, huh?
Yeah, if I don't win it, then I'm not buying it because I buy shit on 2K on NBA 2K. So like, I can't do 2 games. My girlfriend will murder me. So I get one game. I can buy some stuff for her. Not doing it. I got into Cyberpunk 2077 too.
How you liking that? I played it for a while. I couldn't do it no more.
I see. I guess a lot of people got it when all those bugs and everything were happening. It sucked.
Yeah.
I just now got into it, so like I haven't had any real issues. Like, I'm into it. All it is Johnny Mnemonic, but like souped up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I'm into it. Like I'm like halfway through the story mode. I've been kind of trying to like slow grind my way through it, taking my time on it.
Well, let me know how it turns out. I think I got about almost halfway through it, and then I put it down. It was too buggy, and it was taking me out of the game.
As I said, like I got it way late. It's damn near over a year since it came out, right? Pretty much. So yeah, I mean, there's a few bugs in it. Like there's a few times like when you start a mission and get to a checkpoint, it won't let you get past that. But I just quit the game and go back into it, and it's fine. So I'll take that compared to all the other shit people were complaining about with it. I'll take that one little glitch.
There you go. I kind of do that with some of the other games, like the games as a service type games.
Yeah.
Think of like Destiny and Avengers and stuff. I'll usually wait a year for like a lot of extra content to come out, and then I'll see what people are saying about it at that time. You know,
that's where I'm at with Avengers. I just downloaded the Black Panther DLC on it or whatever.
Nice. Chadwick doesn't voice him though, does he?
No, I don't think so. Not
no, yeah, I don't think they got any of the
people.
I don't think they got any of the cast.
No, and they don't look like any of the cast either. That's what everybody was complaining about. Even Marvel came out and admitted that they they didn't think this went all the way through after they saw the like final concepts and everything. But
yeah, there's such an attachment to those actors.
Yeah,
you know, you have to. I guess you'd have to make the characters super captivating in their own light. Like you'd have to go above and beyond what the cinematic universe has done for them to overcome that hurdle. But if you just bring in a bunch of bland Wish.com versions and you're trying to emulate what you see on television.
And that's what it was. If they had just went straight comic book version or even just completely burned it down and went from scratch on their own, but because they were so heavy on the movie stuff and the voice acting and nothing like the tones of the actors, nothing lined up. Like you said, it's literally Wish MCU. And so, but I don't mind the gameplay and everything. And I kind of like those just like mindless, just press button type fucking games.
No, I got a couple of those myself. Somewhere I'm like, I want to play something, but I want to turn my brain off. You know?
I don't want to think about and do quests and shit and all that.
It's kind of like Forza. Like Forza Horizon, it's such an easy racing game. I mean, you can crank up the difficulty, but like out the box, it's so ridiculously easy that it's kind of fun. It's almost like a relaxing just drive through Mexico.
That's what Borderlands is for me. Like that's my go-to game when I'm just like shitty fucking day, just want to go tear some shit up. Like Borderlands 2 is like my favorite game all time, probably.
Yeah. Mine in my mobile game, South Park Phone Destroyer, I'm ashamed of how many hours I've put on that game. Someday on air, I'll read off like how many matches, like my stats of how much I've played this game. Because I remember I played this game when it came out day one, and I think it's like 3 or 4 years old, and I play it multiple times almost every single day.
See, I play Borderlands, if not probably 2 to 3 times a week, few hours at a time. Like I've started all over, I've deleted everything, and like just so I could have, because I've had it so long and done it so much, sometimes I forget shit. So I'll just literally just wipe out my characters that are like fucking level 50 and just fucking start back over. Like I'm doing that right now, like just so I can go back through.
That's a good question for the people in the comments, is tell us about a video game that you've sunk a ton of hours in. Like how many hours have you sunk into a certain video game? And let us know in the comments or hit us up on Twitter at SmackDrawPod. All right, let's get into this week's worth of stuff. If you guys are still sticking around after listening to us dick around about video games, we're going to be talking about today, amongst some of these topics, we have more releases, including the rest of Hit Row. We asked the question, is Survivor Series top 4 anymore? We'll give our thoughts on Survivor Series and that did The Rock ghost WWE. I put out a pinned tweet on Twitter asking everybody if you could change one thing about AEW, what would it be? We'll go over some of your answers. And then we also, RN asked the questions, how does WWE still not know how to gear towards the minority fan base? Why does AEW get a pass with their older wrestlers? And then if we got some time, RN, you'll give your thoughts on Impact's Turning Point and Jonah's debut.
Sure.
Let's start with Survivor Series. Obviously, that's what's freshest on our mind. It just took place last night in the Barclays Center. Story going into this, you had Roman Reigns doing a media tour. You had Jimmy Fallon getting the rumor. We heard that The Rock may appear. We've seen a ton of subtlety and not so subtle nods towards The Rock. For one, it was the 25th anniversary of his debut at Survivor Series. Vince McMahon showed up with a prop egg from Red Notice.
Yeah.
And then you had other things like Roman Reigns hitting The Rock bottom in his match. The Rock was the main focus of this pay-per-view, and then ultimately in the end did not show. Not a peep. Not a video package, not an appearance, nothing.
If I'm gonna be honest, if anybody really thought The Rock was showing up, then you're fucking dumb.
Nah, I didn't think he was showing up. So listen, I was 100% he's not showing leading into the last week of the pay-per-view. Then you had Jimmy Fallon bringing up the question on TV, and I was like, okay, well, WWE doesn't like outside press talking about certain story roles if it's not going to happen, because it's not like Jimmy came up with that on his own. So I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be something. I was like, we're going to get a video package. We're going to get a FaceTime call, something. You know what I mean? We'll get a breadcrumb, a crumb of The Rock.
Bro, we have done this. I did a rant about it. There are no fucking secrets. Man. If The Rock was coming, they would have advertised it in August. It's not. That's why I knew it wasn't happening. It wasn't because I just had some news or I just fell into some dirt shit. No, it didn't happen because they didn't tell us it was going to happen. And like I said, I even did a rant about it. There are no secrets in WWE. If he was coming, we would have learned about it directly after Crown Jewel ended.
What was the last? Was Becky Lynch a genuine surprise, or did they say that she was there? They said that she had been at pay-per-views.
Yeah, it had broke that she was at pay-per-view and had broke that she was going to debut like earlier that day, like every fucking wrestling day.
But WWE didn't announce.
No, they didn't.
No.
But I don't think. But that was also too like it was like right when Sasha wasn't coming back, so she was there for a couple shows in a breaking case of emergency type thing, and they had one when Sasha didn't fucking show up because of the vaccine shit or whatever.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Right.
Let's talk about Survivor Series for a bit, since we're talking about The Rock. I'll say this: in a vacuum, in a bubble, take any info leading into the show, all the stuff that came out of it, absolve all that. Just the show as a product, it was fine. It was fine.
It was like a B for me.
I wouldn't go there. I would say it was a C. I would say there was nothing objectively terrible, and that's kind of the bar we set with WWE nowadays.
That's why I'd go B because I think it was above their average, just flatline everything across the board pay-per-view. The matches itself were fucking dope, and Big E and Roman fucking delivered, which a lot of times, let's be honest, 90% of the time, their main events never deliver. They either botch the fucking finish or the wrong person wins. Like something, we always have some sort of complaint about the main event for one of the big four pay-per-views, and you couldn't complain. Like everyone knew Big E wasn't going to win. Yeah. He looked strong. He looked like he could win, but in the end, we knew Roman was going to win.
I think my favorite takeaway from the whole thing, like the whole show, was that Big E looked right at home in the main event. Like he looked like a main event player. He didn't look like, if I might be honest, to me, he felt closer to Roman status facing off against Roman than Drew McIntyre did.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Just Big E resonates with people so well. And I love.
I said it didn't go. We know everyone knew it went how everyone knew it was gonna go, but because of Big E seeing him next to Roman and seeing that he's neck and neck with him, the finish didn't matter. The match was great. We knew what was going to happen going into it. So, like, no one's going to complain about Roman winning because we all knew that was going to happen. But like you said, the takeaway from it is now you have two champions that are on the same fucking level, two legitimate stars holding your titles.
Yeah.
And that's what I took away. And the amount of offense, he was generous as fuck with Big E. Like, I did not think he was going to be, like, not saying that Roman isn't, but like for them keeping up that aura about him, I didn't think he'd get that much. Big E would get that much offense on him, or that they'd give that match that much time to kind of marinate to get to where we were going. And that's when I knew, all right, they look at Big E a certain way, and now we're all getting to see that Big E is a certain way. And that's what I took from why I gave it a B.
Yeah. I still think you're being generous because the rest of the show, most of the show was a drag. The pre-show, Damian Priest got himself DQ'd, giving Shinsuke the win. Why now does WWE care to protect Shinsuke?
Right. Never before.
Yeah,
Never.
Like you could have given Damian Priest a clean win here. Instead, he did the whole. Now, granted, the match was okay. It was pretty decent, but
I know they're trying to do that part of his gimmick to where he just loses control. But like, have him do it after a match, like you know what I'm saying? Or you already had him when he knocked out Boogs with the fucking guitar.
With the guitar, yeah. I'm not going to say it made him look terrible, but I mean, he had the win in his hand. He literally was choking out Shinsuke, and Boogs just started playing guitar, and that's what caused him to snap. It was really silly.
Goes back to my rant too. That's some heel shit.
Yeah. I love that rant, by the way. If you guys haven't seen it, this is a great chance to transition and just plug our show. We're live usually every Monday at some point. We're doing the rewind, right. Usually somewhere between 1 and 4 o'clock. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. Please give us a follow. RN, let's find out live on air. Have we hit 100 followers yet? We've been striving for it. 99, folks. 99 followers. Go. One away from 100. Please head on over to twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. Give us our 100th follow. And then, of course, over on YouTube, we do offer a little bit extra content, including RN's Mute RN rants. We just dropped the most recent one, which was you went on the term that in pro wrestling, you make a good argument. I love this part of your argument. You make a good argument that everyone's kind of already aware that faces kind of do heel stuff, and heels are oftentimes relatable. So why does that make them opposite as what we naturally perceive? And I love the argument you made is Vince McMahon is a real life heel, but he sees himself in a good light. And that's what he projects onto his baby faces. I love that point of view you place.
Because it's literally the classic villain story. Every villain thinks they're the hero in their story.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's so good. Check out the video. It's only at like 2.5. No, it's about 3 minutes long, but still, go check it out. YouTube.com/SmackDraw Podcast. While you're over there, hit the like button, subscribe, and notification bell. And of course, if you're listening to us on the audio realm, thank you guys very much. Leave a 5-star rating, a review, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, go check out that. Go check out your Mute RN rants. I have a blast. I think the next one goes up. I want to say Wednesday is when it's going up. For the rest of going back to Survivor Series, the rest of Survivor Series kicked off. Charlotte, Becky Lynch. Was this the kayfabe breaking, fourth wall breaking? Like, is it a shoot? Is it a work match that some people? Bama, thought we were gonna get?
Fuck no, this is all work. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that they did have some parts that were probably shoot, like those slaps. When Charlotte starts doing those slaps, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Though that's her saying, "Bitch, you had this coming," because it's the same one she gave to Nia, and then next thing we know, Nia's gone. So I'm sorry, but
it's not like she called that on the spot. I promise you, her and Becky behind the scenes were like, "Look, we're gonna get to this point. Don't hold back. Like, don't knock me for a loop. You know what I mean?
Give it to me, right?
Yeah, give it to me, but don't give me a concussion. You know?
That's how you know they're friends, and that's how you know that that's why these two women are." Quite honestly, the top two people in the business. Not if you take Roman out of the equation. If Roman wasn't there and turned into what the tribal chief version of himself, what this turned into, this was the main event for your pay-per-view, not the fucking opening.
Absolutely. It was a stiff match, and I'm not saying. I mean, like you stated in the beginning of the show, it was you make an argument between this one and the main event as match of the night.
Right. Absolutely.
I agree with you there.
Becky Lynch with the cheeks out. Oh.
Yeah. The Scarlet Witch cosplay was something.
They've been letting the ladies get a little bit more, showing a little bit more like they used to here recently. So you can definitely tell that 18 to 34 age group they were shooting for. You can tell they still wear those fucking nude colored pantyhose under, which I think is ridiculous. Like, you're still not hiding that half her asses out.
You're not hiding anything with that.
No, but you can definitely tell like things are getting a little. The ladies are getting a little bit spicier with their outfits than they were before.
Yeah, I think Becky Lynch was cosplaying as Wanda from WandaVision, and I want to say Charlotte. It was the main villain. I think it was Agatha. I want to say
Agatha Harkness.
Yeah. Good cosplay, by the way. The only thing that I was kind of upset about was Seth Rollins didn't come out cosplaying as Vision.
That would have been fire.
Yeah, him and Becky need to go full on corny, a la Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake matching denim outfits.
Don't think it's not coming. Like, once they acknowledge that they're actually together, because they make hints to it. Like, Seth will say something about the baby, she'll say something about it, but they haven't really on screen acknowledged it. Once they put them together, which I don't know why they haven't done this anyway, like, it's going to be fucking ridiculous, because he said that on the thing, like the person that makes her wild ass outfits started making the suits and jackets for him. So once they get together, the sheer drip ignorance, I cannot fucking wait for it.
Well, I think they had a matching outfit not too long ago. I made a comment about it, but yeah, I want to see it more often. It's cringy and corny if they're both baby faces, but as heels, you love to see it, man. It's perfect.
Right. Perfect.
What do you think of the Raw Survivor Series tag team match?
I mean, it was whatever. I mean, yeah. I hate those fucking matches. I did love that my boy Austin Theory got some time. I told y'all he's coming. He's next up, and he's young enough to carry the ball for a long time.
Yeah. It was what it was. My only gripe about it was Sheamus and Jeff Hardy just teamed together. Like Jeff didn't throw a cup of piss in Sheamus's face just a year ago. Or like
he didn't frame him for fucking vehicular
attempted murder and DUI. Yeah, one of the most lowbrow stories
ever.
Yeah, that just all got swept under the rug. Of course, it came down to Jeff Hardy taking on Austin Theory and Seth Rollins, and Seth ended up picking up the win for Raw. We had the 25-man Battle Royal. This was just a long commercial for Pizza Hut.
What the fuck, bro? Like, I'm surprised they didn't wrestle in like a vat of fucking marinara. Like,
so my wife is pissed because she runs a Pizza Hut. She's ran a Pizza Hut for like 15 years, and they were advertising that triple treat box or whatever, and that drops today. And so she's
what the hell is it? What is it? Just pizza with the sweets and shit in it too? 2 pizzas and the sweets or whatever?
So from what I gather, Pizza Hut's always done something like this where where like the big dinner box, you'd get like cinnamon. Yeah, it's one box that holds multiple pizza, like just multiple items.
Right.
You know, that's kind of what Pizza Hut's become elaborate for. But now it's got like sliding out drawers, and so I'm not gonna lie, the gimmick looked pretty cool.
Oh, I fuck
like
with
a sliding out pizza box. That's pretty dope.
Pizza Slut's my favorite pizza. Like everyone looks at me like I'm crazy, but literally it's my favorite pizza. Like we get it a lot. We get it probably a couple times a month.
Nah, for the fast food chains, you know, pizza fast food chains, Papa John's is mine.
I think they're probably second for me, but Pizza Slut is so dope. It's got the drive-through right next to the gas station. So you get the fucking beer on one side, drive around, pick up your pizza on the other side. Pizza Slut for the win.
Pizza Slut, man. All right. RK Bro and the Usos, they had a good match. Yeah. Randy Orton hit another big RKO this time.
It was not big. That shit was trash. Let's just stop. Just stop.
You didn't like the match?
No, I liked the match, but I'm talking about the RKO. It was he was literally almost laying down on the ground. Like it wasn't like his other ones where he was literally laying next to Riddle when he caught him.
Dude, look how much room he had to how much he had to travel.
I know that there's a set of difficulties and everything involved with it. The logistics are terrible. But he did not catch him in the air for RKO to be destructive. He was literally almost on the ground when he got his hand on his head. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. The match itself was fun, though. It was a fun match.
Yeah. No, it was the match that I thought it was going to be. I mean, I wasn't surprised that the Usos lost. I mean, kind of is what it is.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. I was God, I love Randy Orton and Riddle. It's just fun. It's fun.
I just hope they do like I said and make it be Riddle turns on him and not the other way around.
Yeah. All right. So the last match we'll talk about of the night, because we already talked about the main event, is the women's Survivor Series 5-way tag team, whatever. I'm not gonna lie, man. This was like the dud of the night for me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Not because like the action wasn't good. It didn't like help anybody. Because here's the thing, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, "But Kyle, Bianca Belair took on 4 members. She was the sole survivor and took on 4 members of the team." Yeah, what happened to her partner just before that though? Rhea Ripley. What happened? You had the entire Raw team, or excuse me, SmackDown team work together to eliminate Rhea. But the moment Bianca Belair came up and was against the 4, all of a sudden it went to like your stereotypical action movie, one person at a time. There was no more teamwork. It was just run in there, let Bianca eliminate you. Not to mention, Sasha Banks just got ousted, once it came down 4-1. Like her elimination was just getting backed off by her own team for the count out. I could see what they were going for. They were just like, okay, 4-on-1, this will make Bianca look strong. But the structuring and psychology of the match made no damn sense.
It's the lazy booking that they always fall victim to. They fall back into their same tropes and stupid fucking things that they've done the entire existence of the company, but they just have no nuance or no, like you said, no type of psychology or anything to it to make sense. Like you said, like, why would they stop tag teaming and doing the 4-on-1 shit when it got down to one person? Like, it didn't, like, nothing in the match made sense. Like, I know exactly what they were doing, and I get it. They were trying to, because Bianca has been losing and all that shit, and then all this stuff with Charlotte and Liv winning the #1 contender, so they're trying to keep her looking strong. So I get it, and I'm here for that too. But like you said, the storytelling and the psychology involved was just ass.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't work for me. Once again, though, like I've always said about how they're smart. They put the match that they think people are going to crap on the most right before the main event as a palate cleanser. And that's exactly what happened. Also, throughout the night, Barclays Center, I love that New York will always be honest with the wrestling product. Mm-hmm. They will. And I'm not saying this because, I mean, I'm making no secret. My favorite wrestling right now going on is AEW. It is my favorite product. But it's not like, at this point, I don't have to watch WWE. I still choose to. Right. Because I do want good things to happen. And I always have a little bit of optimism, you know, that something will turn out good. But man, don't I love it when the fans let you know how we feel at home often. And Barclays they were in on it, man. They were chanting AEW, CM Punk. They were doing the wave, and it showed you and a lot of people were screaming that this was disrespectful. Well, you're expecting a hardcore wrestling fan base to be engaged in a show that you've put next to no effort in. Of course, they're gonna get bored. And they're going to start cheering bullshit because that's what they've always done.
And even before this, when NXT used to go on the night before this shit, they would get chant NXT and all that shit at the show when that was going on before there even was an AEW. So it's like, that's the whole reason why they go to Barclays, because they know Brooklyn's are smart fans. But you have to give these smart fans something to give a shit about, or they're going to shit on you, which has happened probably the last 2 or 3 times they've been there. So,
and it's not like Barclays. Yeah, and it's not like they're bad fans, man. WWE have hosted so many events. I mean, there's SummerSlams. Yeah, we're in Barclays Center for like 4 or 5 years back to back because of how much good reception the fans give them.
That's what I'm saying. And they would always have the NXT the Saturday before.
Yep.
And they would chant fucking NXT during the main events and stuff at SummerSlam and everything, because the wrestling wasn't holding up to what they just saw the night before. So it's like I'm not mad at that. Like I said, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying AEW is that much better, but at this point in time right now, especially with the influx of veteran WWE talent that came to AEW, the storytelling has been better, the pace of the matches has been better, and just the overall product has got reason to a point to where, I'm sorry, but they're hitting on all cylinders right now. Like, they just are. Like, and we know I'm not the AEW guy.
Yeah,
I'm just not. But I can tell with Daniel Bryan being there and CM Punk and all these guys that have been on the big stage before, you can tell their influence. Even the shit with Adam Cole, honestly, with the Bucks, like, you can tell he's having some sort of influence on the elite and everything and what they have going on. Like, their matches feel different. It's not so much flippy dumb shit.
And we lost our run. There we go.
There we go. They're actually like taking some time to letting shit resonate. You know what I'm saying? So like, WWE's fucked.
I wouldn't go far to say that, but I will say this: that
I mean, like, as far as with the crowd, not so much.
Yeah, with their audience, WWE has way more. Yeah, WWE is league behind with their audience.
Yeah,
AEW fans are way more excited to cheer and be there for AEW than, say, WWE fans are for WWE.
Yeah, and that's not even an argument to be had. That's a fucking fact.
You ask most WWE fans, myself included, who admits I still watch, we went over this, a lot of them are willing to admit, like, yeah, the product really isn't the best right now, but I'm watching it because I'm optimistic. It's a habit. Right. You know, I want to support the wrestlers.
Right.
But, you know, so, yeah, man. Hey, all right, go ahead and tell us about Speaking of which, you touched on the fan base. AEW's use of older wrestlers. I will be right back. Someone's at my front door.
All right. No, I just wanted to talk about like the Billy Gunn and Darby Allin match and like how many people were supporting it and behind it and stuff. And my main issue with it is if that had been a WWE, people would have trashed that fucking match. And even though it was a good match, and I'm not even saying I'm necessarily against it, but wrestlers like CM Punk, Sting, Billy Gunn, I was like, Billy Gunn's got his 2 sons there. Give those guys shine and a chance to take over and maybe get in the match with Darby. Like, why is his old ass in a match? Like I said, it was a good match. Like, it wasn't like it was terrible. Same thing with Cody's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, these older dudes, if any of this was in the WWE, people would have a big problem with it, and they would be trashing it on the internet. But no one's allowed to say anything bad about AEW, so it doesn't get brought up, and then people just breeze past it. But if that match was on SmackDown or Raw, it would get shit on. Totally.
All right. Go ahead and brief me. What?
I was saying about them using like the Billy Gunn Darby match, like any of those matches. Like if those matches were on SmackDown or Raw, the internet would lose its fucking mind.
Well, we did. Okay, so you're right. You're right. I mean, I can see an argument for both sides. For one, I'm not gonna lie.
What I was gonna say is I didn't say that. I'm not even talking about the match itself. The match actually was good. Like, and Billy can still go.
It was a well-told story.
Yeah, and he's had so much time off. Like, his body's not beaten, fucking brittle like a lot of older dudes his age is, because he took so much time off because he was having the substance abuse issues and shit. And then he became a trainer and stuff like that. So he's got a little bit more miles left on him. I get it. But my thing is, if a 50-year-old wrestler was wrestling on Raw or SmackDown, despite the story, no matter what it was, the internet would lose its fucking mind.
We did. Remember when Kane beat Finn Balor?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. We go back and forth on this a lot, especially when it comes to Dustin Rhodes.
Right. Which even with him, like I said, it's not even so much that he can't go or that he can't keep up. It's just the fact that these dudes are grandfathers and still getting TV time. And the thing about it, pissed me off more about it with Billy Gunn, is he got 2 sons that are actually dope right there that he's supposed to be helping elevate. Why wouldn't you give one of them the fucking match?
Yeah, you gotta start putting those kids in there. Right. Especially, I think Austin's the standout. Yeah.
Yeah, the smaller one, right?
Yeah, the one he raps and does a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I get it. I wasn't mad, because Billy Gunn, this was the first time I've seen him, you know, especially on TV, and the match itself was fine. Yeah. It was, I mean, it was kind of weird still watching Billy Gunn be this unstoppable force where Darby, I think, literally only got 3 moves of offense. Yeah. The entire match. He just kept running into a brick wall and getting tossed around.
Like I was saying, if this was on like Elevation or something or Dark, I wouldn't give a shit. But like not one of your main shows on TV versus one of your top guys on your show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, exactly. It did feel like a dark match. I will say this though. Okay, so in the argument, I want to pose a question. I want to say the treatment of the older wrestlers. I do want to say in AEW, I think it's a clear indicator that they're at least treated better. Right. Now the utilization of them may have maybe hit and miss. The utilization of Sting, I think, has been perfect. Near perfect.
One match every here and there, and it's on your biggest pay-per-view when you got to get your biggest eyes on it. You roll Sting out. Like I'm not, like I said, I'm not arguing that they shouldn't do it or that they can't. I'm just, like you said, the utilization of it, of when and where they use it,
is oftentimes hit and miss. You're right.
Right.
But you're right. You would probably hear a much larger uproar, especially from the AEW fan base. Right. Watching, let's say, Road Dogg roll out there and say beat up who's Ricochet. You know what I mean? Yeah, we would have a collective meltdown.
I'd say more like
Ricochet could probably win a competitive match.
I would say Ricochet. I mean, more like Dominic or somebody.
Yeah. There you go.
Trevor's always losing.
Yeah, man. But I'll say that. I will say this. Of course, there's a double standard with fans. Of course there is. A lot of them. I try not to deliver a double standard. I try to not tote that line. You know, whenever I feel tempted to, I kind of like, okay, just play devil's advocate. Don't lean too hard into it, but see how you could see that a certain way, you know? But yeah, I think we all agree though. The way they treat their legends with respect and dignity on and off screen, I think is
yeah, like I said, my argument is not so much any of that. It's just the usage of them in the time. Like I said, like you could have, like if it was like a 6-man tag or something like that, no issue with that whatsoever. If it's with his sons, who he's there to get over anyway, and they're getting some TV time and they're getting some rub from being on TV with their dad and being in the ring with Darby and them. But when it's him, like to me, like that just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Let's transition over to the show's pinned tweet. This is going to be a segment that I want to try and do weekly. The question of the week, and this is what we'll do is on the show's Twitter at SmackDrawPod. Go over there and follow us. Every week I'll pose a question, and by all means, please leave us some suggestions. But I'll pose a question, and then we'll let the fans kind of give their take on it. And I'll go ahead and go through some of them. Me and RN will debate it a little bit, give our points of view. But yeah, so we'll make this like a weekly thing. Last week we asked if you're still watching, what was it, just Raw, right?
Yeah.
What has you tuning into Raw every week? And that was a really fun one to cover. This week, I didn't want to go, if I'm going to throw something at WWE, I'm going to throw something at AEW. And so we posed the question, if you could change anything, one thing about AEW, what would it be? We got a lot of replies. RN, before we get into it, let's give our takes, I guess.
Okay.
Mine's pretty basic. I kind of am satisfied with AEW, so the only real gripe that came to mind was Team Taz. And my whole thing is Team Taz, either do something with them or break them up. Just that's it. Like this whole popping up, trying to recruit people like the Dark Order and toting around a title that's never being defended and acting like you're on some type of winning streak and level of success when you're really just getting like 4 minutes of TV time a week to just say the same stuff. I'm over it. Break them up or do something with them. Like get a decent chunky story to go with. What about you?
Mine would be the rules. I want them to be no holds barred or lax rules like ECW was, where we don't have to think about it. We don't have to fight about it. We don't have to have a fucking discussion about it after every pay-per-view or every main event, when literally you can have 3 matches back to back where the rules are completely different, but there was nothing in the stipulations saying that the rules should be different. So just say it. Just come out and say, like, we're relaxed on the rules. We're letting the wrestlers wrestle, and it's up to the referee to call it or call something that's excessive. If you do that, there's nothing anybody can say to you. Like,
yeah, no, a lot of the naysayers goes right out the window.
Right. Well, and the fact that they empower their referees and our referees are actually characters on the show, that would supplement that too, and kind of give that a better thing too.
That'd be a kind of a neat take, a little bit of an original take.
Yeah, because you already got Aubrey and all them. They're fucking famous as some of the wrestlers.
Aubrey Edwards is in there. You're really really strict. And then what's another ref?
I don't know their names. Just Hebner and then her is the only ones I ever really.
And they're known for letting it go or being a pushover. Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. Did you know? By the way, that actually reminded me really quick before I go into the replies. Did you know that technically, like WWE messed up, and I think that they didn't realize it till afterwards. It was Roman Reigns' match with Xavier Woods, where the loser had to bow, and Roman obviously got DQ'd, right?
Right.
But that would have been his first loss, like singles loss, technically, in like 2+ years. So he got DQ'd, but the next week they covered their ass and said it was a no contest, when it was a clear disqualification with the Usos jumping Xavier Woods. Yeah, they messed up there. And that's not me taking your shit and spinning. It just reminded me. That's something that stood out to me. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see what some of our followers on Twitter, what they would change about AEW. Let's go to the quote tweets first, just so I don't miss these. Let me see. Let me kind of read them before I just blurt something terrible out loud. Okay, so at Caster Gunn X says they've done a great job. Only thing I would change is I disband the Hardy family office. I kind of agree. And end the feud with the best friends.
I never see them together. I only see like one or two of them at a time. I completely forgot about the HFO shit.
Yeah, Matt Hardy often just totes himself out there with like Butcher or the Blade. Although Butcher's out, he's got a torn bicep, so he's going to be out for a while.
Didn't he just have that like last year or the year before?
Yeah, man's got terrible luck, bro.
Damn.
Or with the bunny and yeah. At Go Time R2J, he lists off 4 things. Let me just read one of them because that's kind of the rules. Keep pushing women's wrestling. Now that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Is keep pushing women, and I agree. At JBV The World, he says also give women more time. Yep. Let's see here. One guy was very vague, and I tried to get him to answer on it, and he didn't. So I'll let you speculate what he means. He at Chaub 316, he says, "Let's start with their most recent high-profile signing." Who's the latest high-profile signing?
It'd be Daniel Bryan, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. Because he came out after Adam Cole. No one big has debuted since then, outside of and I think this was before Full Gear. When was Full Gear? That was last Saturday, right? Okay, so no, this was right before.
Jay Lethal.
No, yeah, this was after Full Gear. So I mean, their most recent signing, wouldn't that be
Jay Lethal? That's what I said. Their most recent.
Yeah.
I don't know what he means.
I don't know either. I asked him to elaborate. He never did. And then so that's it for the quote tweets. Let's go into the comments section. Let's see. JJ_Ren, friend of the show here. Everything M douche F. Sad part is I liked his character one time. Apparently she's not a fan of MJF anymore.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah. TC from Young Kings Wrestling. By the way, me and him were spatting at each other last night on Twitter. I think he thought I was a little bit more serious than I was. He says, hire a legitimate public relations team. Position yourself like an actual business. What do you think about that?
I kind of agree. Because I feel like, to me, I feel like the little things are what's holding them back. Like production-wise, even the entrance and theme music, like all that shit still sounds... The look and feel of the show still feels indie to me, like if that makes sense. And I feel like if they cleaned some of that stuff up and made it look a little bit more big time and feel a little bit more big time, I think that would go a hell of a long way with them being looked at as a clear cut number 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
for sure. I would like to see their production take a little, not like a huge fresh coat of paint like NXT, but maybe like just a little something.
Like not even changing anything that they're doing now, just make it look a little bit more presentable as a national TV show. Like even a little bit of pyro here and there, you know what I'm saying? Like just little things. Like I think they needed, like you said, they do need a fresh coat of paint, maybe a whole new.
It's probably coming with the TBS move.
Oh
yeah, it is probably coming with the TBS move. Jimmy Bebe, who most recently I just take notice, he likes to stir the pot a little bit. He likes to give some hot takes. He says, I would invest a lot of time, money, and effort improving the ladies and building the women's division. That is such a common thing here. A lot of people agree, the women's division. BamaDave, he says, actually go ahead and get some of their mass releases done. Little controversial take there. Get rid of some of the people that they're holding on to that they don't really have much investment in. Yeah, you can't really believe that their entire roster that they intend on making them all huge superstars. There are probably some.
Somebody's got to go because
some of them are collecting dust. Kira Hogan recently spoke out about the bloated roster. Says she feels lost in the mix right now,
and she's probably one of the best. She's probably top 5 women in their company right now.
Yeah,
honestly.
The ASW show, I like this one. He says, if you're going to reference BTE Dark and Dark Elevation events or in-jokes, have the commentators explain them who cannot watch 200 hours of AEW programming every week.
I've been saying this as long as we've been covering AEW.
When John Silver was out there and said that he's not facing Adam Cole, he's facing Butch, that you could tell that the large portion of that crowd didn't know what he was talking about, and it was because it was a soul in joke on BTE on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation numerous times.
Oh, yeah. No, I completely agree with that take. I do believe you need to start bridging the gap with Dark and Elevation, like their YouTube programming, essentially. Right. If you're gonna feature it on Dynamite and Rampage, you gotta have something to help fill the fans in, whether it's a quick little video package, commentators just explaining the joke, something.
Or tell us, go check out Being the Elite.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, just literally say, for more content like this. Yeah. At Good Bad, NHB says more storyline emphasis for women's division. Yes. Let's see here. Katie Kinsey, baby, excuse me. At Katie Wrestling 13, get rid of the ranking system. How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, I like it, but if you're not going to actually use it and they only pull it out when they need it for a storyline, don't just get rid of it. You don't really need it. I wish they had done like they originally said they were going to do and actually use the ranking system and made it a part of the program, but they don't. They only pull it out when they want to say somebody's undefeated or it's a match for the number one contender. No one really knows what those fucking records are.
Yeah, wasn't it the Gunn brothers or someone has almost 20 wins undefeated or
I thought it was the Brian Pillman, I thought, before they lost on
but we've seen some crazy high records because of these people racking it up on Dark.
Dustin Runnels, who was 37-2 or something.
Yeah, exactly. But he wasn't out there challenging Kenny, So yeah, they gotta figure out some ranking system. What they should do is, that would kind of insinuate the brand split, but have rankings for specific shows. Like a win on Dynamite is worth more than a win on Dark, right. Stuff like that. Because just blanketing everybody, here's your win-loss record. It does beg the question, why is anybody outside of Dustin Rhodes challenging Kenny Omega, when their rankings aren't even close to his. What else, man? Okay, here's an interesting one. Random words. Personally, I would change the biarchy in AEW. Tony Khan having everything on his plate worked better in 2020 when the roster was smaller and they were at dailies every week. It's still great, but I think it's time that he builds a team to help him out. Man, I don't know. I kind of
has a team to help him out.
Just because the buck stops with him doesn't mean he doesn't have people developing content being approved by him. We don't hear stories of Tony Khan tearing up the script.
Right.
Half hour before Dynamite goes on the air.
As far as all the stuff that I've known and I've looked into the research, the executive vice presidents are essentially the booking committee. They all work together. And like you said, the buck stops with Tony. So it's pretty, they all work as the booking committee and also the road agents and shit helping with planning matches. It's a known fact that Jericho has his hands in probably 3 or 4 of the fucking lower and mid card storylines. I mean, all the wrestlers say that and says that Jericho's their go-to guy. So I think that there is a team. It's just not announced or said that this is our booking committee, everyone knows who it is. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think he already has a team. It's just he isn't as tyrannical, let's say, as Vince McMahon is.
No, absolutely.
He's more giving towards other people's ideas, at least what it seems right now.
Well, he has a team because he started this business with these 4 guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That wasn't an accident. He did that for a reason.
I want to get to a couple more friends of the shows. The EPW show says let segments breathe for big moments. Absolutely, that's been a good criticism. Highlights of Dark and Elevation. At Dissertat says that's a good one. At Apron Bump, excuse me.
Sexy Kyle.
Less HFO. I'm right there with you. Yeah, man. Thank you guys. There's so much on here. At Warren Hayes says the unfortunate Max Caster to Peter Avalon ratio. He wants more sexy Peter than Max Caster. I like that. At Hillbilly Heel, he says, always enjoy your show. Thank you. Since Elevation and Dark both affect the rankings, need a segment on Dynamite or Rampage that give brief highlights of what's going on. Exactly. So
yeah.
So it feels like we're kind of like circling around the same stuff. At Matt Ritter from Smacking It Raw, a defined set of rules for the refs to abide by, just like you said. Yeah. And it looks more women on Dynamite. That's pretty much it, man. Everyone kind of agrees. We want a good set of rules. We want a clearer defined ranking system. More time for the women. Certain factions have run their course,
right?
So we want fresher faces and fresher matchups on TV.
I got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
They need a trios title.
Yeah, bring that in there. Yeah, the factions will get a lot more.
Well, my whole thing was when they started making this like fucking New Japan with all these factions. I thought that was going to be like one of the main things they did and brought in. Like they definitely like you have fucking 15 factions on the show. You need the trios title. You just do.
Yeah. Let's see. Really quick. Thank you guys. Also, really quick. No, thank you everybody. For commenting on that post. I apologize if we didn't get around to you. There was a lot, man, and I'm honestly flattered by how much interaction you guys gave with us. Drop your suggestions, tag us, whatever. Hit us up on the next question we should ask. We'll have one posted later tonight or tomorrow to use on the next show. Let's move on to the latest round of releases, RN. And then, unless there's anything else really plaguing you, we'll call it a day. Let's see. So right here I have in front of me, WWE released another round of cuts. This is only a couple weeks following their latest round that we had. Shawn Ross Sap. Let me go through this list. Let me find Shawn Ross's Twitter really quick.
I can tell you who it was. It was John Morrison.
Yeah.
Hit Row. Jackson Riker. I'm missing one. I was trying to buy you some time on your phone.
Oh, no.
Who else is it? John Morrison, Jackson Riker, all of Hit Row. And it was another, I think it was an NXT guy.
Let's see. This just happened, back? Not even a week ago.
Yeah, it was Thursday, I think.
Thursday? Okay, so we have... Damn it, SRS. You tweet too much. Right. I know how to do this. Oh, crap. Stuff is crashing. Go figure. I have too many things open, RN.
I got it. Hold on, here we go.
Yeah.
Come on, get to the fucking list.
Shawn Ross, Sap.
Why is it so hard to find the damn list? Literally, this talked about everything except for the list.
Well, Top Dollar is like one that comes across a lot of people's mind, and then along with the rest of Hit Row, of course, BFAB was released in the last. Here we go. I have the list in front of me.
Drake Maverick. That's what it was.
Yeah. WWE released John Morrison, Top Dollar, Ashante Adonis, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick, Shane Thorne, and Jackson Ryder. So RN, man, you and I, for Jesus, for like a couple months now, we were like, man, how is WWE going to drop the ball with Hit Row? Turns out
they're just going to drop Hit Row.
They're just going to drop Hit Row, man.
No, this is like, and I hate doing it. Like, I hate always having to be that guy with the race shit, but this is just another example of them just not knowing how to write, market, or portray a African-American person on TV. A genuine, like, don't get me wrong. Oh, well, what about Big E, Kofi? I'm like, listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Them are not the niggas that I know. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, they're just not. Like, those are, I don't want to say they're white guys, but like those type of black dudes, that's not the dudes I hang out with or know or grew up with. Hit Row was. They dressed like I dress. They listen to the same music I listen to. I know 2 or 3 dudes with gold teeth. Like, I'm just like, those are the type of people, the type of black people I know. And a lot of those type of guys, including myself, fucking watch and love wrestling. But WWE just does not know how to market to, I don't even want to say black or colored. They don't know how to cater to that young, cool hip hop generation. They just don't. They can't never get it right. The closest thing was John Cena freestyling back in the day, and he was a white dude from Connecticut.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Although I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't that bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the last real black character we've had on TV in the last 20 years is jersey wearing John Cena.
Jersey wearing John Cena. Yeah, man. It's just crazy, and at this point, it's like it's not even shocking. Like, it's you get this gut reaction where you're just like, man, fuck WWE. Like, really, like, you know, just like it is like the
I'm
company.
Gonna stop buying faction sweatshirts. Every faction shirt I bought in the last 3 or 4 months, the team broke up, or these other motherfuckers, they just got completely fucking released.
Yeah, when I say fuck WWE, I don't need you guys in my mentions saying, but you're going to turn on SmackDown, you're going to turn on this. It's more
not
complex.
That type of fuck WWE.
Yeah, it's really not, man.
It's like when your girlfriend fucking, not even when your girlfriend cheats on, when your girlfriend just does something fucking stupid, like goes out and like flashes everybody and everybody sees. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. You're disappointed, but at the end of the day, you're still going to go home with them because
exactly. She goes
man.
on with a bunch of beads. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Drake Maverick had a pretty cool video, and I saw people.
I'm sick of his shit.
You didn't? Did you watch it?
Yeah, but I'm sick of his shit. He's being too fucking nice. They cut this man twice.
Did you really watch the video?
I didn't really pay attention to it.
Okay. See, a lot of people saw the intro and they thought it was the same thing. No, in the video, it starts out like the first one, but then it cuts to like almost like a dreamscape, and it's his other side telling him to like get up, man. Like stop feeling sorry for yourself. This isn't the end of the road. Your dream is to be a professional wrestler. You're successful at everything you do. Essentially, it was himself giving himself a pep talk that he doesn't need WWE. Like it was really, and it was intense. It wasn't like feel sorry for me. It, like literally the first words out of his alter ego's mouth is, "Well, we can't do this again." Meaning we can't.
Exactly.
Well, we can't do this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the only one I'm happy about is fuck Jackson Riker.
Yeah, man. Look, I can't use that Jackson Riker "I will survive" video anymore. That kind of bums me out. I'm never happy to see any individual lose their job, but there was an argument to be made. Why wasn't this dude dropped? Even outside of the political scope of things, you weren't doing anything with this aging Stifler lookalike.
It literally,
like you were using other people way more frequently and in higher places than him, and they were getting dropped still. So, yeah, it was just weird, man. And then lastly, turns out we were right that Crocodile Dundee. Stop when you see these cringy acts saying "give it time." Stop. Right. Just please, if we can eliminate the whole "give it time," let's see how it plays out. I'm done. I'm done with that.
I tell you, I'm always the one everybody attacks in our group chat when I say something's ass out the gate. Everybody from TC to fucking Katie to everybody. give it time, it'll make money, blah, 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 blah. And every time I'm fucking right when I tell y'all something's ass out the gate. Yes, how's that Nikki ass shit going for y'all?
Oh,
how much money is she making?
That got more legs than we thought it would, though. Let's be honest.
No, not for me. It didn't. I knew exactly what it would be. Like,
yeah, man, it's gonna be a regular thing. They've already come out and said it. It's Jesus. It feels like it's gonna be like every 6 to 8 weeks.
Right. Well, I'm gonna pull up Bama. I listened to Busted Open today. They were on Ashanti and Top Dollar were on Busted Open Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I fucks with Top Dollar. He pretty much said, he was like, everyone keeps trying to say it was this. He was like, but none of those things were really true, because I guess he got into some heat for making a diss track on
Jinder. Everyone was calling him racist because he mistranslated a word.
Yeah, and he was like, well, that's how fucking retarded they are. No, I don't mean to use our word, but he was like, Jinder was sitting right next to me. We planned that. He was like, Jinder even went to the office and told them that we were trying to get something together and get something going. And then I guess they got heat too for making their own new version of the song without B-Fab, which he said it. He was like, they cut our legs from ours and took what made us different from every group when they cut her. And then they wanted to take the song out, and the song is that hit roll like that. That's the whole fucking song is that. And you took the person that said it out, and you took that out of the song and made a new song. And he was like, he's like, pretty much like, I knew the writing was on the wall before this even happened, because I guess they cut him out of SmackDown, they cut him out of everything, then they rebooked him back, then they went back and cut him again. He was like, I already saw this coming. He was like, because they did this to Brianna or B-Fab. They did her the exact same way.
Yeah.
They were not happy. And Mark Henry was like, don't keep it real. Tell us how you feel. That's what this show is for.
Yeah. I mean, it's really starting to add weight to that belief that some of these NXT people are being called up solely to alter their contracts for their releases. And I used to think that, I was like, that's silly. Who would do that? At this point, I'm like, oh, this sounds about right. Like it almost feels like there are, because let's be honest, they brought Hit Row up and literally did the least amount with them. I can't think of another NXT call up that was released in a shorter amount of time from being called up. Especially considering they had video packages, they had everything hyping these guys up, and then dropped them. Like it's well,
my thing is too is not even so much that. Like, I can understand if they were just getting started, like a long-term NXT faction, but they were fucking balling out on NXT too. Like, and they didn't even they only wrestled like 2 or 3 matches together. He had Top Dollar had brought that up too. He's like, I never even got to show what I could do in the ring because we did so well with everything else we were doing. The longest match I had there was 15 minutes. Yeah. So he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were doing well. Like, and they matched everything that they wanted. They were young besides Swerve, who's not that old. And then you had a big guy that you can prop to be your star for your new mandate on NXT 2.0. Like, that's the point I never got what the hell they even drafted him for. Like, we already talked about, I knew this was going to be a failure. Do
you think that they'll remain a faction outside of WWE, or do you think they're going to go their separate ways?
Probably their separate ways, because Top Dollar had already started a version of this faction. He was already in a version of this faction before he came to WWE. He just brought it here, and then it was originally he started doing it with Ashanti, and then they brought in Swerve kind of later because they found out Swerve could rap and all that stuff too.
Okay.
And he was like a later addition to it, and they just positioned him because he was the veteran and the star, and they positioned him in front.
Wasn't he a breakout winner, right? Wasn't?
Yeah. So shit happens. Like, I don't know. I wish they would stay together and kind of go somewhere else, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Well, anyways, I think that's going to be it for today's show. It was a fun one, man. It was a fun one. Thank you guys for everyone that participated. Once again, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at SmackDrawPod and leave your question for next week that we can bring up and discuss on air. All right, always a pleasure, my friend.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you, boss.
Yeah, man. Like always, until next time, you guys, y'all have a good one.
See y'all next week.